Hello, you are listening to WTJU Charlottesville, 91.1 FM, and online at WTJU.net. This is Third Rail, WTJU Rocks music series, which happens every third Saturday of the month. If you are listening on air or online, you can also video stream tonight's live performance on WTJU's Facebook and YouTube pages. Before we get to tonight's live act, which is Alexander, also known by his name David Shapiro, we have a little business to get to. We'd like to thank you. We would like to give a big thank you to Third Rail's sponsor, Hello Goodbye Records, which is at its new location at 108 4th Street Northwest in downtown Charlottesville. We'd also like to thank you, that's right, you, for donating to tonight's act. If you are here in the studio, there is a tip jar in the front, which we will gladly take cash donations for. But you can also Venmo online at davidalexanderguitars. I'll give that Venmo again throughout the show, but it is David Alexander Guitars. We also have a couple of underwriters to thank. WTJU is supported by Dirty Nellie's Pub and Deli, Charlottesville's Irish Pub and Sandwich Shop located at 2200 JPA, offering dine-in, takeout, and delivery. Live performances by local musicians throughout the week with Dirty Karaoke on Wednesdays. Online at dirtynelliecharlottesville.com for online ordering and the schedule of events. WTJU is sponsored by Mudhouse Specialty Coffee Roaster with locations on the downtown mall in Crozet and their newest outpost in the Code Building. Learn more at mudhouse.com. And now we're ready for you, David. How are you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks so much to WTJU for having me.
Sure. And you go by Alexander because this is your middle name, correct? And
Alexander is my middle name. It's my band name. It's caused a lot of confusion throughout the years, but I'm sticking with it. So, yeah. Alexander. But people in conversation all call me David. I probably wouldn't even turn my head if you called me Alexander from behind.
But if they went to buy a record, that's what they would find it under. And why don't you tell everybody where you are visiting us from?
So I'm on tour from Connecticut. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, and Durham, Hamden, Connecticut.
Yeah, I will say I first saw David play probably in something like 2015 when Nagwal came through town. Was that probably be about when you started coming through Charlottesville?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Although actually, many years before that, my grandmother used to live down here, so I would come down here to visit her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, then Nagwal band you mentioned was me and a buddy, Ian McComb, who's originally from Alexandria, Virginia. And we were doing a whole bunch of touring back then, and he knew people around Virginia because he was from here, so I didn't know what was going on here, but he got us a show in Charlottesville. And then we linked up with you and Tyler and kept coming back because it's always a great time here.
That's right. I have seen David play many places like Twisted Branch Tea Bazaar, Magnolia House back in the day. He played at the Music Resource Center not that long ago. And just kind of wherever we have a stage, David kind of finds his way back here every year or so. And we're lucky to keep having you. And you're still playing with Kath Bloom, correct?
Yeah, for about 8 years now, I've been accompanying Kath Bloom, who's one of my favorite songwriters. I was a big fan of hers. She lived in New Haven in the 70s and 80s and made a bunch of records that are some of my favorite records. So I feel very lucky to...
Wonderful folk musician and songwriter. We have hosted shows for Kath here in town also. And then are you still playing with Josephine Foster sometimes?
So yeah, I did 1 week of shows with Josephine about a year ago, and then coming up actually this coming week we'll do 3 shows together. We'll be playing in Philadelphia at Johnny Brenda's, we'll play in New York City at The Pit, and we'll play in Kingston, New York at Tubby's. Wow.
Josephine, also a wonderful musician and songwriter, who used to play with a local person here named Jason Ojemian, who was a great stand-up bass player and jazz musician, but they had one of my favorite folk records in the last 25 years is their Born Heller record. Have you heard that record?
It's a great one.
Wonderful record, yeah. But Jason grew up around here. I think he's from Waynesboro, technically, but used to play at the Tokyo Rose weekly, just stand-up bass. Well, you feel like playing music for a bit?
I'm ready to play. Let's do it.
All right. Anything you want to say about the first piece or group of pieces you're going to play?
Yeah, I'll give a quick introduction here. So for this tour, just recently, I released a new 7-inch of songs on a record label from Rochester called Carbon Records. Thanks to Joe for putting this one out. So it's 2 mandolin songs on one side and 2 banjo songs on the other side. So I'll start the set. I'm going to just play one of the mandolin tunes here, and then I'll swap over to the banjo, and I'll play, I guess, both of the banjo tunes from that 7-inch, and then we'll see what happens after that.
You want to show the online audience that beautiful backside of that?
All right. So this is my my 100-year-old mandolin. I'm really a guitar person, so I decided I wanted a guitar-shaped mandolin, and I went looking and I found this thing. So it's got this beautiful painting on the back. Nice floral kind of pick guard here. I really like the shape of the headstock. It's got a nice woody kind of sound to it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful instrument.
All right. So yeah, I guess I'll just as a note ahead of time, none of my original tunes have titles, so here's one of my untitled mandolin pieces for you. Thanks so much. I'm going to switch things over to the banjo here. There'll be two tunes kind of back to back, so one just kind of slides right into the other one. These ones also don't have any titles to them. It's funny, I've been playing guitar kind of a long time, but banjo's more recent addition for me. And there's a style of banjo picking called clawhammer banjo, and I told myself really strictly, I said, when I play the banjo, I'm only going to play clawhammer, so I don't sound like a guitar player who's trying to play the banjo. And I did that for a handful of years, and then recently I was like, you know what, I'll just write some finger picking kind of banjo tunes anyways. So these are the first two finger picking tunes that I wrote on the banjo. It's not on every tour I do that I bring so many instruments. I'm feeling a little like I wanted to try some new things out for this trip. Partially because I have these new releases out. So that's the banjo tunes off that 7-inch and one of the mandolin tunes from there too. And next up I'll be playing some electric guitar for you. Just a quick little sort of backstory about what I'll be playing. For the past few summers I've been working as the music director at a small island off the coast of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It's called Star Island. It's part of a group of islands out there called the Isles of Shoals. And Star Island is owned by the Unitarian Church. So I work as the music director. I play chapel service every morning and most evenings. And I have learned a lot of hymns playing all these chapel services out there on the piano, accompanying all the singers. And so I've done some arrangements here of some of my favorite hymns that I play in the chapel for kind of guitar, solo guitar. And I just put out a CD that's got 15 different hymns, and at least one of the ones that I'm going to play here is on that CD. So this little medley of hymns I'm going to do here for you. The first hymn is called Blessed Be the Tie That Binds, and then it's followed by All Things Bright and Beautiful, and the last one on there is I Come to the Garden Alone. Thanks. As I can't stay with one thing too long, I'm going to switch over to the acoustic guitar here for you now. This one's a special one to me. This is the first guitar I ever built. I was lucky to go to a school up in Vermont called Vermont Instruments with a great teacher named George Morris. And I told him, I was like, George, I want to build the biggest, loudest acoustic guitar that's ever existed. And he said, that's a great idea. Build the smallest one you can. And just trust me. Glad I did. I was really not excited about it at first, but I like playing this thing now. So thanks, George. More untitled tunes for you here. This one, there's a cassette tape over at the merch table over there for those of you who are here in person. And it's sort of a demo of the next LP that I've been working on for way too long. And this tune and some of the other acoustic guitar tunes that I'll play are on that demo tape and will be on the record whenever I get around to making it. think Davis is going to say a few things.
Here I am. Back again. I will do a little bit of business first. I'd like to say that WTJU and the Charlottesville Jazz Society welcome back guitarist Charlie Ballantyne for a concert at Belmont Arts Collaborative on Carlton Road on Thursday, April 24th at 7:30 p.m. Named as one of the top 200 living guitarists by All About Jazz magazine, Charlie Ballantyne is acclaimed as one of the finest and most versatile guitarists on the scene today. Tickets to see the Charlie Ballantyne Trio on April 24th are available at cjs.ticketbud.com. And remind you are listening to WTJU Charlottesville, 91.1 FM and WTJU.net. I'll also remind everyone we have a tip jar at the front of the room if you'd like to make a cash donation. And also you can Venmo David here at David Alexander Guitars. So Venmo at David Alexander Guitars. So you're on tour for a while. Where are some of the places you're going to next?
Well, tomorrow's going to be Philadelphia, and then this ends the run of solo dates that I'm doing. I actually started out this sort of block of touring. I did a tour with Kath Bloom, who's a singer I play with, out to the Northwest, and we played in Oregon and Washington and BC. We did 10 shows out there, and then the day after I got back from that tour, I left for this tour. So yeah, tomorrow's Philly, and then I'm home for 2 days, and then doing those 3 shows with Josephine that I mentioned, and then home for 2 more days, and then Kath and I will play in Philly and New York, and then home for 2 more days again, and then we're going to California for 2 weeks. We got a very generous offer. There's a singer named Devendra Banhart who contributed a cover song of one of Kath's songs on a tribute album that was made to her. And he's invited her to open a tour for him out in California, so we're going to go play 7 shows with him out there. And then the day after I get back from that tour, I'll do another 3 weeks of solo gigs, kind of swinging a background around this way. We'll do some Midwest and some South dates, so that will be, I mean, it's funny, I'm like a little jumbled up with all the dates going on, but...
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, that one will be like New York, D.C., I'm trying to remember if I'm coming to Virginia again on that tour. And I really can't for the life of me remember if I am. Definitely going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. But I don't think I'm playing Virginia on that tour. And then the day after...
Well, here you are now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And I was in Richmond yesterday,
Yeah.
and Newport, Virginia a couple days ago. So we got 3 Virginia dates in on this tour. Yeah, and then the day after I get back from all that tour and I leave out to the island for the summer.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a busy agenda.
Yeah, it feels good to be. This is the first time I've done this much touring really since 2019. I was really ready for 2020 to be my first year of full-time touring.
And we know what happened
and
there.
Then, yeah, things went a little sideways there, yeah.
I was supposed to play a show with you in Baltimore.
With Kath Bloom, right?
That's right, yeah. And I was very excited about that show.
Yeah.
Up in smoke.
Yeah, well, we're hopefully doing Kath working on a tour back down this way in the fall, maybe October or so. So maybe we can rebook some of the things that had to get canceled 5 years ago.
Yeah. You said you're working on an album, but seems like it's just kind of gestating as long as it'll take. And you have a recent 7-inch. Do you have any other things in the works?
I do, as a matter of fact, yeah. So I got a lot of recording done last winter. There's a 7-inch that's it's in the process of getting mastered that will come out on a European label called Stone to Death that has been releasing. Some other friends from New Haven have been putting out stuff with them. So there's a 7-inch there. It'll be 2 acoustic guitar tracks on one side, and then on the other side will be an organ thing and a tenor guitar thing. And then I've got 2 of my 2 finger-picking tunes that will be another 7-inch. I love the 7-inch. I've always loved the 7-inch. Seems like I'm the only one, but... so I'll have a 7-inch of acoustic guitar tunes, and then I got to listen back to the recordings that are supposed to be the next LP. I went to the studio January 2020 to make this record, and I didn't love the recordings I got. And then, as we said, everything went sideways, and I kind of lost the train. of recording. And then more recently, I tried all over again and recorded the whole thing all over again. I wasn't really happy with those either because I'm too hard on myself. So now I got to go listen back to those things that were dumped into the trash can to see if they're savable.
Time sometimes can change our feelings on those things.
Yeah, or even just advice from a friend. My first LP of acoustic guitar music is just a self-titled Alexander LP, and I recorded it at a studio, and then I put it in the trash can. And my buddy Ian McComb, the guy from Nogwal, he asked me, he was like, hey, whatever happened to those recordings you made out at the studio? And I sent them to him. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm not putting this out, but I sent them to him, and he listened to him, and he said, hey, this should be your record. I don't know why you're not putting this stuff out. And I've always trusted him. He's got good judgment, so I just said, okay, let's put it out, and that was my first record.
Yeah, Ian's a very good musician and a good friend, so I think he steered you right. I love that record.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we should probably let you get back to playing some music.
Yeah, let's play some more guitar.
All right.
Thanks, Davis.
Sure.
All right, so I will play some more on the acoustic guitar here for you. There's a little sort of suite of tunes. There are 4 tunes here that were kind of all written at the same time and written more or less about the same thing. So I like to play them just right back to back to back. So he'll be a little 4-tune suite for you. And the last tune here actually is a tune that Kath, the singer I play with, she really took a liking to this last tune, and she asked if she could play some recorder on it. So we made a recording of her playing recorder, which I thought was really neat. So if you can, when I get to the last tune, that's like the waltz kind of tune, you can picture a little Kath here playing on her recorder. so when I started playing with Kath, she told me I had to sing, which is something I never really did before. And I told her, I was like, Kath, I'm not a singer. I don't sing. And she said, I didn't say you have to sing well. You just got to open your mouth and sing. So she got me to start singing, and I started going to the sacred harp singing, which is super fun if you ever get a chance to go do it. For me, it's been a great way to, like, I don't know, just sing with people and sing more and get a little more confidence. Another thing I've been trying to do to get more confident singing is I've been trying to make myself sing a song during each of my solo sets, but I haven't written that many songs that I like yet, so I tend to sing other people's songs. So this one's by a folk singer named Jackson C. Frank. It's called The Blues Run the Game. It's kind of a favorite of mine. Catch a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are all the same. Send out for whiskey, baby, send out for gin. Me and room service, honey, me and room service, babe, me and room service. Oh, we're living a life of sin. I'm not drinking, baby, you are on my mind. When I'm not sleeping, honey, when I ain't sleeping, mama, when I'm not sleeping, oh, you know you'll find me crying. Try another city, baby, another town. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues come following down. Living is a gamble, baby, loving's much the same. Whenever I have played, whenever I throw them dice, wherever I have played, the blues have run the game. Maybe tomorrow, baby, someplace down the line, I'll wake up older, so much older, mama. I'll wake up older, and I'll just stop all my trying. Catch a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are all the Thanks. I'm going to play a few more numbers on the good old acoustic guitar here for you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for being here. Stay tuned for the Groove Tube. You've been listening to Third Rail on WTJU. And on May 17th, we welcome Dream Folk Act and Mara here to the station for Third Rail as well. Thanks everyone.